Well, hello, welcome in. First time, maybe the best time. We'll go better as we go, hopefully. We're going to talk swimming and diving. We're going to do this a weekly segment, maybe weekly, bi-weekly, however we figure it out, probably bi-weekly. But we're going to talk to student athletes. We're going to talk to coaches. We're going to talk swimming and diving. We're going to talk Tiffany University Athletics. We're going to talk Tiffany University students. But first, let's introduce our coach. His name is Noah Moran. He's the head swimming and diving coach here at Tiffany University. Coach, how are we doing today?
Not too bad, Russ. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad as well. Our first time here. Welcome to studio, first off.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate this. This is, I think, a great thing for our program, great thing for our student athletes who work very, very hard in and out of the water. And, hopefully they get a little bit of fun with this too.
Well, let's talk about your student athletes. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the two young men who are sitting here with us today?
Both the guys here are seniors. Logan Brutcher immediately to my right, and then Igor. I'm not even going to try to do his last name entirely, but Zanardo is his last name.
How about I just stick to Logan and is it Igor? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm Igor.
Okay, we'll just stick to that if that'll work for you guys.
Works for me.
Well, thanks for coming in, guys, as well. Happy to have you guys here in the studio. Let's start here with my left. Igor, let's talk to you first. What year? You're a senior here at Tiffany University?
Yes, I'm a senior. Just like Logan, we came here in the same semester. We've gone through the same things, and it's been great.
And what are you majoring in here at Tiffany University?
I'm majoring in international business.
Okay, and let's talk before we get into what you're doing here on campus. Let's talk about the path that brought you to Tiffany University. Okay, so how did you first find out about Tiffany University, and what made you think, hey, maybe that's a place where I should go continue my collegiate career?
Yeah. I'm as an international student. I'm from Brazil. I was looking for many universities here, and throughout this third-party company, they started contacting some universities, and when they contact Tiffin, I was sure that this should be the right one because it's so diverse. Even though we are in a small town, there's people from over 30 countries here, and that amazed me, and I felt that I was going to be like home, and it really did. It's been amazing.
So did you look at it as a workout opportunity for, I could fly up there, but what's the point? I'm a swimmer. There's a big ocean out there. Did you swim over to the United States for your travel over to Tiffin, Ohio, or did you fly over?
Don't overthink.
I'm just trying to mess with you a little bit.
Okay.
So what's your plans when you're done here at Tiffany University? When you walk, you go down to Heminger Center and walk for commencement, and you have your diploma. What's your plans when you're all done here at Tiffany University?
Well, my plans are to stay in the U.S. for at least one more year, and then from that on is whatever happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
It happens, yeah, exactly.
Whatever $1 million idea you can come up with, right?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to share those. Don't be afraid to share those $1 million ideas. All right, we'll get into your swimming aspect of what you're doing here on campus a little bit. But first, let's meet Logan. Logan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for coming in. Same thing. You're a senior here as well?
I am.
And what are you majoring in?
History education.
Okay. And what was your path that brought you to the campus of Tiffany University?
Well, I'm only from about 45 minutes away, so it's not that much of a commute that Igor has. But I didn't really know kind of what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to major in, but the whole swimming thing, I swam in high school. Didn't really know if I wanted to in college or not. And then Coach Rita called me, was a coach at the time. I came and visited, and I don't know, I just kind of liked what I saw, and I liked the feeling I got. So I just went ahead and agreed to join the team, and I haven't regretted it since.
And what are your plans after graduation?
Well, I've got some student teaching I've got to do, and then after I'm all finished with that, and who knows where I'll be, wherever I manage to find a job at.
Now let's talk about the in the pool. Now we're talking to you, Logan, right now. Let's talk about what events you participate in at the Tiffany University swimming and diving team.
I do a lot of backstroke.
Well, wait. Before we get that, let's talk about what you think you're going to do first.
All right.
Then we'll talk about what you're actually going to do.
All right.
Well,
going off last year, I imagine I'll do a lot of backstroke.
I think that's accurate.
All right, we're on the right path here. And then, maybe some butterfly be thrown in there every once in a while.
Accurate, Coach?
I would say yes.
Okay. Now, what is it that you want to say the coach is going to say inaccurate?
I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I don't really have one thing. I can sort of swim everything.
He's missing one very specific event that I know he's just thrilled about swimming.
The crown jewel, the 400 IM.
There we go.
Yep, that's the big plans. That'll put me up there.
Right. Why do you think you left that out?
That's generally an event that requires a specific amount of pain tolerance.
I would imagine.
Sometimes most people don't like that.
Right. So. Understandable. All right, Igor, how about you? What's your specialty in the pool?
I only swim freestyle, 50, 100, and 200 freestyle. Sometimes I can swim butterfly, but I'm not as good. So if I swim that, it's usually only on dual meets.
Okay.
But for conference meets and more important meets, let's say, that I swim only 50, 100, and 200 freestyle.
Same thing?
He's leaving out one event, but we'll keep adding to the freestyle, and there's a 500 in there that
all right.
he's going to continue to learn how to swim, let's say.
All right, Igor, let's reflect. Let's take a look back at last year. Why don't you reflect on your performances last year, your team's performances, and then we will get into what your expectations are leading into this year.
Okay. Well, last year it was a really tough season. Noah's first year as a coach. We didn't know a lot about what were his beliefs as a coach.
I think that's an understatement.
But I mean, it was a great surprise to have him as a coach. He's a great guy, and the year was great for all of us. He always emphasized how great we were in the conference meet. We were the men's team, for example. All of us, we did our season's best times, no exceptions, which was great. But even though we did great this year, it has to be even better. And he's always making sure that we know that we gotta be better this year, like every day.
What did you take a look back at your season last year after it was completed and thought, here's something I really need to work on to make sure I'm a better swimmer next year when you came back for your senior year?
Yes, he's always talking to me about the pace, the speed that you have to go, mainly for the 200 free, which is an event that is very hard. That you cannot start too slow, but you cannot start too fast, otherwise you're not going to be able to finish it. And we've been working a lot on that, so I can be better on the 200.
What are his strengths, Coach, when you think about Igor in the swimming pool? What's his strengths?
Well, both in and out of the pool. I mean, Igor just works his tail off all the time. I mean, I actually have to pull him back and
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I can't allow him to do all the stuff that everybody else does because he just absolutely goes gangbusters on it. I mean, kills himself with the dry land, will not take a break on the swimming, and I think that's actually one way that we can greatly improve this year is by making certain that his body is able to recover. Unfortunately, I will say that I got to take the blame for that. I think I let him get a little bit too overworked last year.
Okay.
But
was that part of the learning curve between you and the kids and the kids and you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Igor's a thin, muscular guy, and that's hard to always know exactly what he's doing. Plus, not having any experience with these guys at all, not knowing any of their backgrounds or anything like that, really was it was a drawback. But now we've got that year. Now they understand exactly what I want, when they need to push hard, when they need to recover, when they need to, just, hey, I need a break. I gotta hold back. And I really do think that we're going to be much better than we were last year.
All right, Logan, your turn. When you look back at your season last year, was there something? First of all, reflect on the season and tell us what you thought on your personal goals, something you really needed to improve to make your team better.
Well, I mean, like Igor said, with it being Noah's first year as a coach, I mean, he coached a lot differently than our previous coaches. We had to, sort of learn how he thinks, how we think. So, I mean, we start our competitive season a month into when we start training, so not a lot of time to really get to know each other all that well. But I think we hammered out some stuff by the end of the year. I know our guys' team, we finished a lot higher than we thought we would in the conference, so that was really interesting to see. But I think this year now we kind of have a better understanding of each other, like swimmers to coach, that we sort of got it, the process going a lot quicker and it's a lot easier. And as far as stuff for me to work on, I know my problem is for a lot of my technique. If I'm not focused like 100% of what I'm doing, then I start to go all over the place, and that negatively affects the way I'm swimming. So it's just a lot of making sure I know what I'm supposed to be doing, so when I get into a race, it's habit and I don't have the sort of poor technique that I know coach doesn't want to see.
I know focus is something an athlete across the board, no matter what sport you're participating in, focus is something that you have to have. And is that something that maybe some swimmers, can lose focus because maybe because of the length of the event, or there's just a lot going on in a pool during a swimming event?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we're really, I think that's always kind of what we're trying to focus on. And when we're in practice, I don't think I kill people with yardage. I want them to be aware of their technique at all times, whether, we're doing the pace set that we did yesterday, which I think was pretty hard for those guys, whether it's a lactate set or whether it's just a, simple aerobic recovery practice. I want them to pay attention to that stuff, because if they continue to do that in the water and during practice, then when they get in that race, they don't have to think about it. They just automatically go to that. And so that last 15 meters, when everybody else is tired and thinking, oh gosh, I can't finish, these guys are like, hey, no problem, I've got this, I'm done.
Well, it gives you the mental edge possibly over your opponents as well, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So everybody excited for this weekend?
Absolutely.
All right, talk about this weekend. What we got going on?
Well, we have a meet against, it's Malone, Ashland.
No, not Malone.
Ashland, Findlay, Northern Michigan.
That's it.
Yep.
I mean,
it's a quad meet, so it's a little bit different. Malone was supposed to be in it initially, and they weren't able to do it. So it's pretty exciting meet. I'm looking forward to it.
How do you think your kids stack up against your competition coming up this weekend?
I will never deny. I don't think we're going to look real pretty necessarily. We are, I kind of view this as more of a training session.
Well, you don't want to be your best on week one.
Right, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. I think this gives these guys and the ladies as well a great opportunity to really understand where they're at and what we need to focus on going forward. The stuff we've kind of changed with our training pattern with the pace stuff. I think this is really going to be that first opportunity for them to really put that in and really understand what they've been trying to do over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
We're only 4 weeks. This is our 4th week in the water, and you can't really get a whole lot of training in at that time. So we're still building things up. I still expect that they're going to have some good times, but we're not going to go out and try to beat the world at this meet. That's not the objective.
No, it's not a sprint, right? It's a long race.
Season.
Absolutely. Anything else, guys? Before we let you guys get out of the hot seat and bring the ladies in, anything you want to tell us about the coach we don't know about? Anything?
Careful.
Yeah, you can make you swim and he can make you run. So yeah, anything else you guys like to add here? We'd love to have you guys come back in, throughout the season and give us updates on how you're doing or anything. But anything else you'd like to add before we let the girls come on in? They've been watching the whole time, so you guys have to go out there and keep your eye on them too. They're waving at you.
That's all for me.
Yeah, that's all for me. I'm sure they're excited to share something.
Oh, I'm sure they're real pumped. I'm sure that they're super excited to get in here. But Coach, what made you think about these two young men as the first two to bring in?
Well, I mean, one, these are our seniors. This is our actual first graduating class. The program was started 4 years ago. These were guys that were here and started it. Same thing with the ladies. And I think, this is a great point in time for us. This is where we're really starting to lay some of the foundations down, making certain that these traditions that these guys have started and will then hopefully continue from here. But these were two of the initial guys.
Pretty cool to know that, right? Pretty cool to know that you were part of the building blocks of a foundation that who knows how far it can go, how big it can get. But yeah, being the first ones, and everybody always look back at your guys' name, they'll say, yeah, Logan and Igor, they're the ones that got all this started before we were able to get here. But we appreciate you guys' time. We appreciate you guys being Dragons and the hard work you put in to be a student athlete on campus. We know it's not easy to balance your student athlete activities as well as your academic activities. But thanks for making time out for us today, and best of luck this weekend and continued success throughout the season, guys. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
All right, you guys can go ahead and let the ladies in now, and we'll go ahead and talk here for a minute, guys. And Coach, it all starts this weekend. It's a pretty exciting time, right? I mean, it's exciting when the kids first come to campus and you start getting ready for the season and all the hard work you put in. But when you finally get up there and see the people and the other colored swim caps and everybody getting ready to rock and roll with you and get it going, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love racing? That's a big part of it. This being the first meet, last year we went up to Northern Michigan and swam Findlay and Northern. That was kind of a little different scenario for us. Most of us, I don't think, had ever done a trip like that.
Okay.
So that was different. Being able to go to Ashland and do this. Northern, Findlay, and Ashland are great programs. There's no question about that. we want to be able to compete with everybody, and eventually we want to be better
Sure.
than everybody. That's what we're working towards. So. Again, I do expect that we're going to have some good swims this weekend. I don't think that, and one of the things I'm trying to make certain everybody in the program understands is that we're not going to have our best times
right
this week. That's not what we're putting in the work for. We're going to make certain we're going to make certain that we're best when we need to, which is going to be that conference meet.
All right, we got a couple of your female student athletes here in the program now with us. Why don't you go and introduce these two?
Sure. So Brenda Oporto to my immediate right, and then Melinda Ulbrecht over the next chair.
All right, Melinda, Brenda, how you guys doing? Welcome in.
Good, thank you.
Thanks for taking time out for us here today on our program. First of all, we're just going to talk to you guys a little bit, get to know you a little bit. Then we'll talk about you in the pool. We'll talk about Coach a little bit. But we'll start here first with Melinda. Melinda, tell us where you're from, what the hometown is, and what the path that brought you to Tiffin University. And then we'll talk about what you've been doing since you've been on campus.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Melinda. I am from Romania. Practically what brought me here was my dream was always to come to U.S.
Okay.
And in 2010, when I was 16, my mom came into my room and said, okay, you're going to U.S. for 6 weeks to train with your uncle, which he was in Wisconsin by that time, in Madison. And I went there to train, and I really liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked
Madison's
everything.
a cool town.
Yeah, it was.
Tiffin's pretty cool too.
Tiffin's
right?
cool too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Madison, it's okay, but it's no Tiffin. But it's
I'll
all
get
right.
there too. So, and practically after that, I decided that I want to come to college here and everything. And then when I was about to decide, I applied, I think, for like 200 schools around U.S. and everything.
Wow.
And then my uncle knew the coach from here, from Tiffin, and basically that's how I got here. I really liked the fact that it was a small town. It was a private school. It was something that interests me a lot. I mean, I like big schools and everything, but I really like small ones in small towns. Yeah.
So what are you majoring in here at Tiffin University?
International business.
Okay, and post-graduation, what are your plans?
I'm planning to stay for masters, so for 2 more years, and then we'll see how it goes after that.
Yeah, roll the dice and see how it comes
exactly.
up. All right. Hello, Brenda. Your turn.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, let's talk about where you're from and your path that brought you to Tiffin University.
Well, I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
And what brought me here with Tiffin was that I looked into my aunt lives in Michigan. So
Okay.
I was like, why not go to the eastern part of the U.S.?
Sure. Yeah.
And plus, I've never seen snow. They had the major I was looking into. So I liked it. So that's what brought me here.
You like the snow or do you like your major?
No, I like the fact that it was going to be my first time seeing
All right.
snow.
Yeah. So what'd you think the first time?
I really liked it, but now it's pretty. I don't even know how to explain.
Well, around
it.
here, you could get a ton of it, or you could get a little bit of it. And yeah, a couple years ago was crazy. Last year wasn't so bad. Keep our fingers crossed for this winter. But what are you majoring in here?
Forensic psychology with a minor in homeland security.
And your plans after graduation?
We'll hopefully do masters for 2 more years, and then after that, apply to the FBI.
Well, awesome. That's awesome. Criminal justice, one of the best programs we have here on campus. So it's a great place to come if that's what you want to major in. Now let's talk, Brenda, about in the pool. What are your events? And now I got to warn you, the gentlemen were in here first. They were leaving out some of their events, or maybe putting in something they thought that maybe they're going to compete in, but they weren't. Coach had to correct them. So what are you competing in?
Well, I'm a distance swimmer, that's for sure. I swim occasionally maybe the 200, but mostly the 500, the 1,000, and the mile at conference.
Okay. And Melinda, what do you swim in the pool?
My main stroke is breaststroke, and I swim 100 and 200, and I do the relays, sometimes 200 IM, and maybe couple of times the 50 free, but that's only if Coach lets me.
Do they leave out anything, Coach?
Well, Melinda may get the experience of the 400 IM a little bit more this year.
When you bring
That'll
that
be
up.
amazing.
Great opportunity. I'm
That
so
is.
excited to swim
That
those.
is.
That's awesome.
I kind of joke, but I do think that we're going to have some people swim different things than they're used to, because I think sometimes it's good to kind of change the mindset a little bit.
Sure.
Brenda probably is stuck a little bit more on the distance events. Her focus is I think pretty solid there. We're going to make her much better this year, because her focus this year I think is already greatly improved from last year.
Okay.
I hope.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, I mean, that's generally kind of it. Maybe I'll throw Brenda in a 200 backstroke every once in a while.
She's not opposed to that. She's taking on that.
Kind of get the smirk of, oh, wait a minute, I gotta think about that a little bit.
Right.
I can do that.
All right, now let's take a look back. We'll start here with you as Melinda. Let's take a look back at last season. Kind of give us your reflection on last season, yourself personally, the team, and then we'll talk about what you thought at the end of last year. You said, hey, Melinda, I need to improve on this to make myself better, which will make my team better. So start reflecting on last year, then we'll get into that part.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with the team. I feel like last year we did a great job, and practically because since we had a new coach coming in and new practices, new dry land, everything was different, everything was new, and I feel like not even only myself but everybody else improved. And talking about myself, I did improve since my first year here. My second year wasn't the best, but my third year definitely was something that I was proud of. And well, otherwise it was a great year. I believe so. Yeah.
And what did you think that you needed to improve on when you look back at your personal performances to be prepared for this season?
Well, I feel like I have to improve a lot, and I'm trying to this year.
We all do, though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have to improve. That's true. And well, for myself, I'm trying to improve for the 100 and 200 breaststroke, and especially the 100, which is my main goal, to like go to NCAA's this year and improve as much as I can. And my goal is to go a time that gets me to NCAA's. So I'm improving in my turns, I'm improving in my stroke, my technique, so basically that's what I'm aiming for.
All right, Brenda, your turn. Take a look back at last season, yourself, the team, and then reflect on what you needed to do to be prepared for this season.
Okay, well, last year, like Melinda said, it was a different year because we had a new coach and we didn't know what to expect, and we had to it took time getting used to his workouts, what he wanted from us, what he wanted to see in the water, outside of the water.
Have you guys gotten used to the workouts yet?
Yes. Yes and no.
Have?
Yes and no. Because
Yes
you
and no?
sometimes surprise us with different workouts that we don't expect.
True.
So, but
Gotta
yeah,
keep
so
you on your toes.
Right.
yes, definitely. So last year it was just a matter of like getting used to what he wanted from us and what he expected from us and all. But yeah, and like individually, as like for me, for improving, definitely, like there's this saying like breathing is overrated. So I feel like I breathe a lot. So that's probably something I definitely need to practice on since I swim since I'm like more of a distance swimmer. I spend more time in the water, so I get tired and stuff like that. So obviously, but I tend to breathe a lot, basically. Okay. So I just got to practice on my breathing pattern and controlling my breathing.
I was going to say, is it control? Is that what you're looking for in that? Control. It's not just
like
taking
a pattern in a sense.
Right. Okay. Coach, you echo what they were talking about there about their needs for this year?
Yeah, absolutely. With Brenda, a lot of it is just recognizing that she will be better if she just follows the pattern all the time, as opposed to kind of like we were saying with the guys, losing a little bit of that focus and then not maintaining what she needs to do. Same thing with Melinda too. I mean, every once in a while she'll kind of just forget that she's still got another 100 to go, and that third 50 ends up in that 200 breaststroke being a little off our splits, right?
Okay.
And so she when she does it correctly, it's amazing how much better her times are when she really understands.
It all goes down to the fundamentals, doesn't it?
Yep.
Everything breaks just it's across the board with any sport anymore. It's pretty crazy. So you guys excited for this weekend?
Yes.
All right. Talk a little bit about what you're expecting out of yourselves and your teammates this weekend.
Well, since we're swimming 2 days and it's gonna be 3 sessions, it's gonna be interesting, and of course we're gonna get tired and everything, but I think we're prepared. We'll kind of prepare for it. It's just the first meet, so it's nothing. We're not expecting to,
It's exciting to get back in and compete though against other student athletes, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm really excited to swim, and since I'm a senior, I'm kind of like having that first meet ever in my college career. It's kind of like giving me adrenaline.
Brenda's
also,
gonna start crying now.
Well, it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, it's the start to an end almost, right?
Exactly, it's a start to an end, and it's like it's kind of giving me a nostalgic, but also like an adrenaline kind of way. I have to do good. Like I have to give my best, whatever that best is right now at this moment. So I'm aiming for me, and I'm aiming for the team to do as the best that they can. So
same for you, Brenda. Kind of go out there and set down the foundation for your season.
Exactly. Yes, and it's very exciting because it's a quadruple meet, so it's like four 4 or 5 technically, including ourselves, but it's so many teams together in one place. It should be very exciting. And just,
Absolutely.
like, the adrenaline from everyone else, their vibes, the positive vibes that we can get from each other, not just within our team, but everyone else's team. So it's just like, it's just the adrenaline will hit, and then we're just going to show it up in the water. So it should be very exciting.
Were both of you two student athletes part of the initial program?
Yes.
When you came in?
Yes.
We talked to the guys about that. I want to talk to you guys about that a little bit too, about when you look back, 20 years from now, or, in 30 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever it is, and you look back and realize, who knows what a swimming program will be at that time, but knowing the fact that you guys were here, you built that foundation for what was yet to come. It's got to be pretty cool when you think about that, right? You can reflect on it now, but think about in 20 years when you see something that reminds you of your time, like, oh yeah, that's right. Great times were had.
Exactly. That is so true.
It's like, it'd probably be like, wow, I was there. I started that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool, isn't it?
Okay.
That's super cool. I think that's great. And don't you think it's really cool for these kids to be able to have an experience like that?
Yeah, I mean, the programs that I've been around, have had a long tradition, and it's a huge difference from what those programs were to this. And it's been really interesting to kind of watch the swimmers and divers kind of, really learn their way and really set those traditions and really understand what we're trying to do and who we're trying to be. I don't want to be another school in the GLIAC. I don't want to be a Big Ten or SEC school. I want to be Tiffin. I want to be the best Tiffin that we can be.
Right.
And these 4 that have been in here, they're the ones that really started it. They're the ones that have said, okay, this is what we're doing. These are the standards we're going to hold ourselves to, and we're not putting the bar low. At least I don't feel like we're putting the bar low.
No.
So, everybody's mentioned your workouts. I'm sure every coach is different, right? Every coach is different.
For sure.
What is it about your workouts that are so much different to talk about? Just because it's different from the previous?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think.
Are you much more rugged, rigid?
I think I am by far not rigid.
Okay,
let's say
good.
that.
I didn't think so either. I'm trying to find out if this is a different Noah than I know.
No, I look. I try to be very flexible with the kids. I try to give them the opportunities to learn and figure things out for themselves. I mean, I really feel like if they understand that I trust them, that I know that they're going to be able to take care of things, that I'm going to get more out of them. But as far as the workouts, I don't really think that the base of what Rita's program was and the base of my program was really all that different. I do package it in a different way. I think the biggest difference probably the dryland. We don't do like a strict weightlifting program. I personally love what we do. I think it not only makes them mentally better, at least I hope, but I think that they recognize the difference in their ability to just move. When they're walking around campus, they feel that. They understand. They're You're laughing because
you're painting a picture. It's right here.
Because I mean, they hear me repeat myself a lot, and I can only imagine the number of times that random phrases of something like head, shoulders, hips, knees, so get repeated, or focus on your core. I mean, I do that, and I think that they understand. Particularly, going into the second year, they actually understand how it applies and how that's going to make them better.
Right.
And so I think it's different. Most of the backgrounds, they're in a weight room trying to lift, 1,000 pounds, and I just don't always feel like that's necessary or best. We want to have great body control, and we're going to start there. Eventually we'll move people into the weight room, but only after they can really handle this stuff. And most of them, I think, would flat out say that they're dying in some of the dryland stuff as well as the swimming stuff, but they recognize that they're going to get that recovery time. They recognize that this is what's going to help them be successful, not only just in the swimming, but after they're swimming, that they're going to realize that, hey, I've done a whole lot of stuff, I can handle whatever else comes after me later.
Absolutely. You mentioned their kids are student athletes, which means they're students. I'm sure you guys have plenty to do today, but we'd just like to wish you guys best of luck this coming weekend, and thank you so much for making time out for us here at WTUD. Stop over anytime you want and come back on this program with us. Come on and do a radio show if you want. I don't care. Come on over and talk to us sometime. But Coach, thank you so much for bringing in your student athletes today. And we're going to do this every other week. We're saying every 2 weeks.
Yeah, basically every other week, kind of based off of the meet schedule. So.
We're flexible. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Amazing.
So thanks, Russ. Really appreciate
If
it.
you guys like more information on Tiffin University swimming and diving, go to gotiffindragons.com. Click on the swimming and diving link. You can get the women's roster, men's roster schedule, coaches' bios, all that good stuff. And you can stay tuned in to WTUD, TUDragonRadio.com, and we'll let you know what's going on all the time anyway. So, Coach, thank you so much. Kids, thank you guys so much.
Thank
Have
you.
fun this
Thank
weekend, and
you.
we'll do it again real soon.
Great. Thanks, Russ.
All right, this
you.
has been our look at Tiffin University swimming and diving with Coach Noah Moran here on WTUD, your home of Tiffin University Athletics.